Hello, hello, all. Thank you for joining us again on the Almost Brothers podcast. Hey, will you do us a favor? If this podcast has meant something to you and encouraged you, will you consider becoming a monthly supporter? You could do $3, $5, $8, or $10 a month. What this does is this helps financially support the podcast so that we can continue to put out content and help better serve you. So if you would, down in the show notes, you can click the link, support, and become a monthly member. We love you. New episode coming your way. What about my cover?
Do you have to have it?
Yes, this is my literal security blanket. Are you just jealous?
No.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not. It's my cover anyway.
I don't think so. Peanut butter and jealous. You woke up this morning and decided to just be a hater all day.
I really did.
At least you can admit it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not
Why?
a liar. I'm not in denial.
Okay, well, I mean, that's a good thing, I guess. Why? What is it? What's the matter? Share with us. What's the matter?
Cause I think I'm trying to get sick.
Oh, that's no. We can't have that.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Almost Brothers podcast. On today's episode, we have the very first episode of this type of episode. That's a lot.
What? Yeah.
I know, right?
Huh?
This is Couch Conversation.
Oh, Lord.
So we got it set up where we're just chilling on the couch and just going to have a, podcast conversation going on.
Yep.
So I wanted to talk about compromise without compromise.
Yeah. What about it?
Yeah. No, what about it? In every relationship has compromise or should have compromise, and being able to meet halfway without compromising who you are. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about. And like I said, it goes with every conversation or every relationship. It could be marriage. It could be dating. It could be, your kids. It could be friendship. It's compromising for one another, but also standing your ground on things that you believe and that you think the way that things should go. That way you're not compromising who you are for that person. We've all been in that relationship or seen a friend in that relationship where they compromise their wants and their needs and their beliefs for that other person just to make them happy. Mm-hmm. So finding that line between compromise and compromising who you are.
Yeah.
You ever been in a relationship like that?
Well, really the only relationship I can think of is with you, and that's been
snap.
18 plus years.
Oh, snap.
But there was a point where, it was back before Christ, I'm sure, when we were in a relationship where, I kind of just lost myself and became like a yes man, just, to not fight.
Yeah.
Which now I see a lot of times with people in bad relationships or toxic relationships, as dating, and they just give in to everything.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Where they just give up anything that they want just to make that other person happy.
Yeah.
And I've had friendships that were that way where, I would compromise how I feel and just kind of swallow it and not speak up because I was scared to ruin that relationship with my friend.
Yeah.
And I would compromise literally my happiness just to be friends with that person. That's just not healthy.
Right.
It's, of course you want to compromise and you want to meet halfway on just a myriad of things. I mean, it could be from, a relationship. It could be like how many kids we're going to have.
Yeah.
Compromising where we're going to live, what we're going to do, that kind of compromise. But also, you can go so far as to losing your identity.
Yeah.
Losing who you
100%.
are, you know, just to be in that relationship. So I know that's something that is very easy to go into if you're not careful.
And when I usually give relationship advice, when they ask me, you know, that's one of my main things is, okay, well, can y'all compromise?
Yeah.
Especially when it's like a topic as money, finances.
Yeah.
Well, can you compromise? Or, not really deal breakers in relationships. Money is a big thing in marriages and couples that we always see. I always see that kind of brings up tension. So that's the first thing I always say. Well, can you compromise on this? Or, how do they feel about that? Are they willing to meet in the middle?
And that's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing is, I think are they willing to even do that?
Yeah. And it's hard because I've talked to women that say they're just not willing to, like, their significant other, their husband is just not willing to meet in the middle. And that's hard because you're like, okay, what do I do now?
Right.
What do I do next?
Yeah.
And it's like, if they're not, then I hope you got a strong prayer life.
Right. Yeah. Well, and what sucks is a lot of times it's I don't want to say too late because you can always fix it, but like that's things you should have talked about before walking down the aisle, and we weren't like that. Yeah.
Because we got married at 19.
Yeah.
And we already had a kid.
Yeah.
So it was like, we didn't know that. We kind of just had to
figure it out.
Yeah.
We had to figure it out along the way. Yeah, absolutely. But I think both of us were willing to compromise and to try to meet each other in the middle, because there's a lot of things that I do that drive you crazy. There's a lot of things that you do that drive me crazy.
Yeah.
And things that I go about this certain thing differently than that you would like to go about it, and vice versa. So we have to meet in the middle of that and say, hey, I probably wouldn't went about it that way, but let's meet in the middle and let's figure this thing out together.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal, being able to do that, being able to say it's not about me, it's about us.
Right.
And again, that goes in all relationships, friendships. You can almost go about friendship the same as dating to a certain extent, and being able to say, hey, I really want to make sure that you're happy in this. I want to make sure I'm happy in this. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't look at it that way. They just say, well, I mean, I don't care. It's my way or the highway.
Right.
And that makes a bad spouse and makes a bad friend.
Oh yeah.
And same with parenting. Like there's certain things you've got to compromise with your kids. Mm-hmm. How they learn, how they take discipline, you have to compromise. They may not react to discipline the way that you react to it, the way that you want to do it. It just may not. I had a cousin that he'd get his butt beat all the time. That just didn't do anything. It didn't affect him. It didn't fix it. So you have to change up your strategy and figure it out and compromise in certain ways and certain things.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have an adult child. An adult.
Not me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No. With Lee, like I remember, in car rides.
And when I say not me, I mean she's not talking about me. Not that Lee's not.
Yeah. You are a man child.
That's what I'm saying.
But I remember like being in car rides, like dropping her off at school or picking her up, or, the many times of like taking her to the school. Or I remember saying, these are our morals and our values in our household, just so we're clear. These do not stray.
Yeah. That's good.
Here,
like here's where we stand. This will not be compromised.
Yeah.
Like this is where we stand on these issues and these things.
And it's like, if, we've raised you, you're about 16, 17 now, if you are, just so you're aware, this is how we are still going to live in this household. This is how we're still going to go about in this household, whether, anybody comes in and likes it or not.
Yeah.
So like that stuff you have to stay strong with.
Yeah.
But other than that, of course, there's always compromise.
Yeah.
I remember the first time when she wanted to go bowling and without a parent.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And I was so scared.
Yeah. It was with a group of her friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was so scared. I was like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause you don't, yeah. Cause we never had that before. So,
Right.
so this was the first time of that happening. So it was like, yeah, we don't really want you to do that.
Right.
But.
And I think it was like mostly guys.
Yeah.
So that's kind of scary going into, but we knew them all. We knew all their parents. We knew they were good kids.
Yeah.
It was a small town. So we kind of had an idea, and that always helps.
Yeah.
But it's a compromise of, okay, I'm going to trust you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's how.
And then you hold your breath.
Right. Well, that's how it is. That's what we're dealing with her right now. We want her to be here.
Yeah.
But she has built a life in Kansas City, so it's like, okay, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. We're gonna meet you halfway, and and allow you to do that. And I say allow you. She's 20, but
right.
To be supportive in that, like, hey, we're gonna support you whether we agree with you or not.
Right.
We're gonna support you because we know that that's your life. Mm-hmm. You know where we stand. We know where you stand. So that's fine.
Yeah.
And we don't have to force ourselves onto others or allow them to force on. We can meet in the middle and say, hey, even in disagreements, hey, you know what? We disagree.
Yeah.
That's okay. You could think the way that you want. That's fine. I'm going to think the way that I want. And I think especially in 2024, that's not a easy thing to do with a lot of people because they want to, well, I'm right. Well, no, I don't think you are. So, I mean, that's fine. And like I said, standing firm in what you believe without forcing that on someone else.
Yeah. And I always try to look at it as being open-minded, but still being strong in your faith.
Yeah.
Because there is a level of like integrity, So I always think you should be rooted in that. This is how I am. This is, what I stand behind. This is how it is. But I always am open-minded, a willing vessel, to see where can we meet in the middle that's not going against all that.
Yeah. Well, I know in our marriage, after 18 years and 26 years and being together, a big one for us is what are we going to watch?
Oh my gosh.
Like that's a big thing that we have to compromise on. You have a lot of shows that you watch that I don't like. I've got a lot of shows that I watch that you don't like. And we have to there's many times where I'll watch something that you want to just because I know you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it may seem like a little thing, but those things add up in a marriage, in a relationship, in a friendship, and in a, those things add up when you go, you know what? I want to do something that you enjoy. I may not enjoy it, but I want to do what you enjoy because I know it makes you happy.
Yeah.
And those things go a long way. Those build up, and they may seem like small things, but they really do. They build up and they build strength in your marriage and your friendships. Mm-hmm. When I'm sitting here having to watch my 600-pound life, it just.
First of all, you watched one episode and you couldn't even.
It was an hour and a half.
I didn't know that. That's not my fault. I didn't know that.
You watch it all the time. How do you not know how long?
I watch clips. I don't finish them all, so I didn't know they're 2 hours.
I started freshly shaved and I ended with a beard. I don't know,
Oh, that's funny.
But there is times.
But I think you were curious.
I was about to say there is times where we start something that you like, and I'm like, I'm going to watch it because I know she likes it, and I end up getting into it. That has numerous times that has happened.
Yeah, because I don't lie. I don't pick bad stuff.
Oh, you what? You
don't hit the button. Don't hit the button. Don't.
You what?
I don't pick bad stuff.
Oh, babe. You picked a movie the other day.
Yeah, okay, that's different.
That's different.
I'm talking like shows. Like, I'm going to invest and then tell you about it. That means it's good. I'm not going to be like, I'm watching this show. You really need to watch it, and it's just going to suck. all across the board.
Okay, maybe.
Like, because I've watched some shows
I was about to
that
say, there's been some
horrible, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't watch it.
Okay. Well, okay, for the most part, I agree with that. Except for, what was the movie that you had me watch?
It was a movie.
Yeah, I know, but you'd seen it. You'd seen the whole movie. It wasn't a new one. And you said, oh, babe, it's great. You need to watch it. And I watched it, and it was terrible. And you probably know what I'm talking about, and that's why you're laughing.
Is it the freeway?
Yes. Like, you made me, you made me sit down and spend and invest. I got popcorn, like we got comfortable, and we sat, and you made me sit for
That's
2
been
hours,
like 10 years ago,
and watch this movie. It was that.
There's
yes,
a second one too.
like it was that scarring to my life that I remember.
You made me watch Summertime. I don't even know if that's what it's called.
That's not. It's not.
Summer?
No.
Summer?
No.
The Summer?
Oh, I love you.
What's
Wow.
it called?
I'm not telling you. I'm going to try to make you watch it again.
Oh, Wonderwall?
There hasn't been one. What? What? You're just naming songs. You went from Will Smith to Oasis. Like, what are you doing? Wonderwall?
Summertime?
Oh,
Summerland.
my goodness. Just stop. Just stop. But I, as well as many people, believe that these movies are good. So, but it's even, it's even beyond that. It's, you know, like I said, how many kids should we have, and where should we live? And, you know, we talked about, you know, when we retire, where we want to live, and, you know, all that. And it is that compromise of life, and saying, you know what, we're in this together. It's not all about what I want. It's not all about what you want, but it's about what we want together.
Yeah.
You know, and that really does. It builds just strong relationships all together.
Oh, yeah. Especially when you're willing to, you know, just listen.
And that's a big part of it. Yeah.
And think about it, because I know it's so small, but when we were moving here into this house and you wanted to put your toys up.
They're collectibles.
Okay, whatever they're called. But it was, and we had this discussion, and then we had like arguments about it, and then we had more discussions about it, and it was so small, you know. Usually, it's so small, but
it seems small, yeah.
And I had to finally say, you know, like, decorating the house is really important to me.
Yeah.
And then you had to come back and say, well, you know, this is really important to me also. Like, I know it seems crazy. I know it seems small. I know it seems like nothing, like to some other people.
Yeah.
But, you know, I love turning our home into a home, a house into a home that people can come in and go, wow, you know, they turned something so boring into something beautiful.
Right.
That's just a hobby that I like. So we really had to like meet in the middle, moving into this home and saying, okay, well, you know, can I put this here? Can I, you know, put that there? Can you work around this? You know, because we never really had that.
Yeah.
I guess it was always just random stuff, you know, in our old house, and I would try to decorate it, and, you know, there would be piles of kids stuff here, and so that was like a small thing we had to, and you don't think about that stuff when you're just dating, or you don't think about that stuff when you're getting into a marriage. You know, you think about finances and how many kids.
But it goes a long way. I mean, it meant a lot, you know, to me, just like you said. It's because it may seem like a small thing, but those things mean something to me.
Yeah.
Like that's not just a hobby. That's a huge part of my life. That is.
Right.
That is, when I walk in and see those things, like each one of them reminds me of a time in my life, reminds me of being a kid or going to the movies and watching. I mean, it is something that means a lot to me. So you going, okay, you know what? Yes, Go ahead and put those there. I know it means a lot to you.
Right.
Is that even though you didn't want it there?
Right.
Like you just didn't.
Right.
And you're like, no, God, no, please. But meeting that halfway, it goes into your brain and it goes into your emotions so that down the line, for me, it's like, oh man, she compromised on this. So I'm going to meet her halfway on something else, on another thing, that I may not want, but in the back of my mind, I remember, well, she compromised for me, so I'm going to do the same for her.
Right.
And that's how you build that, again, it may seem like a small thing, but it goes a long way. It really does. And those things build up after time to where now you're constantly looking at how can I do something for the other person, even though I don't want it.
Right.
And that's what it is, what it's all about. And again, it goes in all,
right.
It goes in, I mean, even employee-employer relationships, meeting each other halfway, and saying, hey, you know what, I'm gonna help you out so that hopefully later down the line, and it goes back and forth. Hey, you need this day off. Okay, even though you don't have it, I'm gonna give it to you so that hopefully I come to you and say, hey, can you work this extra day you weren't supposed to work? Now you meet me halfway, so you can insert that into many dynamics in your life. And you should be looking for ways to do that in all aspects of your life.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Even with, we have Zeke and Zay, and they're smaller. And so, we always try to compromise with them. Also, not just, we'll do it because I said so.
Yeah.
Or do it because I'm the parent, it's, hey, you can play your game for this long. And then afterwards, you're going to have to either, do chores,
right,
something, clean your room, So even with that, there's compromise in that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Or like when, Bubby wants a new game, but he's already spent his money. And it's like, well, no, you spent your money. But I tell you what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. I will front you and let you get that. But you're going to meet me now. You're going to do some extra stuff that you don't want to do. That's exactly what it is. Is that, hey, we're going to meet in the middle then. I'm going to give you something that I don't want to give you. You're going to give me something that you don't want to give me. You're going to take the money. I'm going to take some of your time.
Right.
So being able to do that and have those conversations, because that's where it starts, is just being able to listen and to also voice your, well, no, this is what I want, because I think a lot of people do that in relationships where they don't voice what they want.
Yeah.
And then they're upset because the other person isn't compromising with them. Well, but that person doesn't know what you want. They can't meet you in the middle of something. You're
not telling them.
Right. They just don't know. Well, they should know me. That's not how the world works.
Right.
Like, let's stop trying to play these guessing games.
Yeah.
In friendships and relationships of, well, they should just know what I'm thinking. That's stupid. Like that's your own fault for not voicing how you feel or what you want, or, like for me, I could have just not said anything and then been upset.
Yeah.
But instead I'm like, well, no, I'd like to have this. I'd like, so that's a big thing too, is just communicating that.
Yeah.
So I'm here to tell you, I don't ever, ever, ever want to watch 600 Pound Life again. Ever.
Yeah, you do.
I don't. I really don't.
Yeah, you do.
Or Freeway. It's terrible.
Oh, Freeway was funny.
It's not good at all.
It was a 90s, like, what?
Yeah. What is right? Like, what just happened?
But I had to watch it, and you had to watch it.
It was so bad. So what I want to do now is I want to go into a segment that we call That's What's Up. So what we do in this segment is we talk about something that we're watching, something that we're listening to, something that we're reading this week. So it may be a new song, it may be a new movie or a TV show. So what is something that maybe you've listened to, that you've read, that you've heard, that you've watched in this past week that you can share with our guests so that they could check out? Yeah.
You didn't let me prepare for this.
Okay, well, you take your time, and I'll. So I found this song that was really good. It was like on Instagram. It's called "Worry Less."
Oh yeah.
By Anchored Collective.
It's
it is so good.
It is.
I don't know if I could play any of it on here without getting copyrighted, but it is so good. It's on Apple Music. It's fantastic. I've listened to it like 7 times this week.
Yeah,
it's really good. It's like catchy and like it's just so good.
I'm going to talk about this book that I've been reading.
Oh, that's funny. So we've been going through a book together. It's just
that's supposed to be mine.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me talk about
My bad. Go ahead.
Dang, you're always trying to steal my thunder.
You're stealing it was my
So
book.
it's called, it's something we ordered.
It's something we ordered.
John C. Maxwell, How Successful People Lead. Taking your influence to the next level.
And it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. So right now we're going through each step. There's like 5 different, steps. And then it goes on to talk about how to get from one to another and all that. It's really good.
What's been your favorite one so far?
He's just amazing at leadership. My favorite one is probably 4.
People development.
Because which each of them, the higher it goes, they all, 5 has all 5 of them, 4 has 4 of, so, but I think 4 just talking about how you've now went from just a leader that people follow because you're good at it, or a leader that people follow because they have a relationship with you, but you become a leader that people follow because you're good at it. They believe in you. You believe in them. You're developing leaders. Mm-hmm. Like that's a big thing, because I feel like a lot of leaders miss out on certain aspects of leadership, and I just want to be a good, well-rounded leader that people aren't just following me because I'm good at it or I'm charismatic or I've been here and done it. I want people to follow me and feel like they're leaders too. They're not just following me, but I'm helping build up other leaders so that they could lead in their life.
Yeah.
So I really love that stuff. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I sure do love you, babe.
Well, I love you.
You're my favorite co-host. I'm just saying.
Well, you heard it here first,
That's
Richard.
right. Just throwing it.
And Tyler.
All right. Thank y'all for joining us. Hey, like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
Love you all.
Hey, listeners, we just want to thank you for your continued support for the Almost Brothers podcast. Do us a favor and go to your favorite platform and rate us and like us and share with everyone that you know. Thank you so much. Love you.